Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about my budgeting and how I handle with my handling of money, the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. Because I have bipolar and I'm not great with money, but I've found ways that help me to take care of money and not be as bad with it, and to make sure that the necessities are all paid and bills that I want to are paid, and the money that I spend is not coming from something I really need, like the payment of my insulin pump or rent or hydro or that sort of thing. One of the ways that that helps me with budgeting is I do this. My happy planner. Now, in my happy planner, I've got 5 envelopes that I put littler envelopes that I'm going to get cardstock so that they're not paper and not so flimsy, that I got from Pennies into Pearls. That's another thing that helps me with my money, is watching some YouTube channels. I'll get to those shortly. But this envelope says mindset, I can and I will, and they're from the happy planner, and they are from the budget expansion pack. And this one says small progress is still progress, so no matter how small, progress is progress. If not now, then when? So if you don't start trying and reaching out for help with your budgeting and that, if you don't start now, then when are you going to start? Because I've done I'll start tomorrow. Oh no, I'll start tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and I'll be like, no, I'll start tomorrow. And I keep saying that. So start now. Know your worth. Even if you're not good with money, you could be excellent with money, you could be horrible with money, you could be in between those two things with money. That, how you are with money, does not deem your worth as a person. I've had to learn that. Now, other than those envelopes, I've got my main page, well, the main planner, the one that in here that I'm going to show you. And one of the covers I will show you. They are very inspirational to me. I trust the next chapter because I know the author. I trust my next chapter because I know I'm the author, and I'm going to do the best I can with the tools I have. And I'm going to look for more tools to help myself. Then, besides the calendar, I've got my weekly expenses where I put the week of, and then I list the date, and I list what category or what it is, how much it was, and I check if it was a need or a want. And then I have those pages that go throughout the month, and I accidentally skipped the first pages because they stuck together. But the first page, I put in my income, and later on I'll put in the totals, like, of my income, my expenses that I spent, and how much I have left remaining. Now, be honest. If you spent on a credit card, put that in your expenses. And yeah, you may have spent more than you brought in, but be honest with yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to get better. So be honest. And I list all my bills and then how much I get. At the time it was weekly, and right now it's been monthly because I've gotten my trustee to mail me my money to my bank and then it gets deposited. But starting in July, I'm going to start going in every 2 weeks. Then on this page, I mark my savings tracking. I have to update that. I took out the remainder today. My laptop needed to be repaired. So I marked the date, what account it came in or out of, how much came in or out, and how much is remaining. And then it goes to the weekly. And at the end of each month, it has where you can, the budget for the month of, and that this is the end of May. So it's for June, and then you write some financial goals and things don't forget and unexpected expenses. Like for me, I need to mark in unexpected expenses the fact that I had to replace my laptop's hard drive. And I'm going to be real with you all nowadays, and I'm going to start posting videos of exactly where my money's going and how I'm doing. Because this way I can hold myself accountable. And these are from the budget expansion pack. These are 3 stars that I wanted to do. One is save, which I've started doing, but now my savings are depleted, so I've got to put them back. Control my credit shopping. I'm not doing the best with that, but I'm getting better. Continual learning and working, because you are going to nonstop be learning and working on things about yourself, your family, if you're in a family unit, budgeting. You're going to learn all those things. Like I have a savings jar here, which I have to mark now. I'll be marking it unless I get some more money put in July. Later in June, my savings will be at 0 when I mark in June. Because I've got January, February, March, April, May. But May hasn't been done yet. Oh no, wait. I was missing one. January, February, March, April, May. Then, from the expansion pack as well, I have my goals. Hey there, what is your short-term goal? What is your long-term goal? And for me, my short-term goal is to pay down my credit card and spend only what I can afford to without a struggle. I'm still working on that. And my long-term goal is to learn and grow with how to understand and work with my finances. That is a huge thing in progress still. Then I've got 4 things I'm saving for. Now, those might change. Inspiration. To see more stability with my present and future spending. To not be afraid of not having what I need. That's always been a fear of mine, to not have the things that I need. And then goals for like next month, next quarter, next 6 months, next year, and a vision map. And then I have calendars for that I can mark when my bills are paid, a sheet for marking all my bills, things that I save. Like, I'll go more into depth with each of those later on. But for that's one aspect that I work in that, and I check in with it every day. If I get money in, or I spend money and it goes out, or a bill is paid by my trustee, then I mark it down. See, having a trustee is not just when you're forced. Lots of people are forced onto trustees, yes. I'm not one of them, and I've been with my trustee for about 3 years now. And that was to put myself voluntarily onto a trustee. That was the best choice I ever made. It was a hard decision, but it was the best choice I made. She makes sure that all my bills are paid. She takes and she talks to me about my budget. She'll answer any budgeting questions. She does my taxes. All sorts of things like that, which is really awesome. Then I've bought budgeting books. Like, I want to get Dave Ramsey's, because I take from all sorts of places and see what can help me. I follow, and I'm trying to stay where I'm doing the monthly now. They have the monthly, not just the yearly. For the YNAB, you need a budget. I do that. I have the book. I have Gail's 2 books. I've watched her budgeting shows. I'm watching YouTube channels like Pennies into Pearls and other channels in that are doing budgeting. And you have to realize about yourself and be honest. For me, I get money in my hands, and let me just take my TV remote for my cable box. Say this is money, $100 in my hand. It's burning my hand. That's what it seems to me mentally. So because it's burning my hand, I'm like, oh, I want to get rid of that. And then, oh, it's gone. Where did it go? Did I really need all that? Did I need to eat out? What do I have to show for it? Did I think about it? Did I get the things I wanted and needed? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes a mix. It's not easy. My mom is someone, and sister are people that I go to and I ask them if something is a good deal, because I know I can trust them. Don't be afraid to ask for help or voluntarily put yourself on a trustee. And I'm not saying everyone that has financial problems should put themselves on a trustee if they're not forced onto one. Don't get me wrong, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for some individuals, if you weigh the pros and cons and you think about it, go talk to a trustee or trustees in your area. Find out what they allow and what they can offer. Because if I didn't have my trustee, then the insulin pump company wouldn't have allowed me to make the monthly payments on my insulin pump. I am locked in with my trustee for 4 years. I can't remove my money from her for that 4 years, or until my insulin pump is completely paid for. Once I own nothing on my insulin pump, then if I wanted to, I could remove myself from my trustee. But I'm not going to do that, because things have only gotten better since I've had her. And her sending me my money in one lump sum, even though it comes later in the month sometimes, has been horrible because I don't have money throughout the month. When I was getting money once a week, I had money. And sometimes I was starting to have money at the end of the week. But that's not something I can seem to do. I've replaced my going to Walmart and different places and shop with going to the grocery store and spending $300 on groceries rather than spending $150 and putting the other $150 away. And if I need some more groceries, then go ahead and take a little bit and get some. But there's been a few things that have gone bad that I've had to throw out. And it's like, well, why did I buy that? Or I'll buy something and I don't realize it. And then the money's gone. You've got to think things through, and don't be afraid to admit you're having a hard time. I was afraid of that for a very long time. Sorry, I have asthma and COPD. And so reaching out and asking people that you trust for help, or going to a trustee, seeing about getting on one. Watch YouTube videos on people that are budgeting and seeing if even one or two little things helps you. Go and get, even if you, like the first time I read the YNAB You Need a Budget book, I didn't buy it, or the Gale books. I went and got them from the library. When the library is open, you can get things like that from the library, and if you find it useful, save the money, and when you have it, go and get the book. You don't have to go 100% by what the book says. If you go by even 2%, 10%, and that helps you, and you start saving, you start not being late on bills, you start making sure you're paid up to date, your credit card isn't, if you have one, isn't run up, then you're doing better. But you're not a horrible person. I have had to think about that, because I thought that I was such a horrible person, and it hurt me really bad to have people that I loved and trusted telling me that I was bad with money, because I knew and I know that I'm bad with money. But when they tell me, it brings it back to the forefront. It makes me feel even worse, like I'm being watched and judged. And that's not how they mean it, but that's how I end up feeling. And that hurts. So you can talk to people, but you can also make sure that you only talk to people about your finances with people that you trust. Now, I'm putting myself out there, but that's because I'm trying to help others, and if others can learn from what I'm going through, and maybe those of you that are watching my channel, you might have advice for me that can help benefit me to not overspend so much, to save more, to be smarter with my money. I'm always open to advice. It doesn't mean I'm going to go 100% or even take the entire advice or that advice all the time, but I will take it, weigh the pros and cons, and see if that would be of value for me and my situation. Just like I think everyone should weigh the odds of that in the pros and cons of the value of that for them in their situation. Because if A works for one individual, that doesn't mean that A is going to work for every individual. Some individuals might need B or C, or a combination of all three, or a combination of A and B, or a combination of BC or CA or CB. Everyone's different, and their comprehensions with money are different. So don't judge, but try and help each other. And I'll be making more videos like this, like I'll say, talking about more about my bipolar and how that affects me with my spending, especially when I'm manic, and how being depressed affects my spending, how being stressed or anxiety affects it, and that whole shebang, how I handle money, how I handle stress, and all these other issues. So if you like this and you are in Ontario and you are either on Ontario ODSP, Ontario Disability Support Program, or you're attempting to try and get on it, or are attempting, I have to check out my series on ODSP. If you're diabetic, you're on multiple shots of insulin, and you're thinking about getting an insulin pump, and you're not sure, I have my journey of getting an insulin pump on there. I'll be doing another video on my pump and how it has been now that I'm almost 2 years in, as well as I have done a ton of other videos on different things. If you would like me to do a video on something, I did an ODSP on how to get low-income housing video because someone requested it. I'm more than happy to do that. Please like, share, subscribe, enjoy, comment down below, and let me know your financial tips and tricks and things that have helped you, things that you've struggled with, and if you would like me to do another video on something specific with a financial struggle. Peace, much love, bye for now.